Good morning, you guys. Good morning and welcome to Friday. Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry. That was actually by accident. I didn't mean to do that. So today is Friday. It's May 15th, and we finally arrived to the last day of this week. Okay? And I want to welcome you. I want you guys to say, "Yay, we're here! Woo!" Okay, so we have a few classes today. The first of which is English. So today we have English class, okay? And as part of our English class, on Tuesday when we did Zoom, I taught you something. We started to look at a presentation and see the base of something. Now, we weren't able to finish it, which is why I'm making this a two-part video. Now, the first thing that I want to show you, you guys, is that it's really important for us to understand what I was trying to teach you about the word families, okay? So I'm going to go back to that presentation first and show you the things that I want to show you to refresh our minds, to make sure we were paying attention. On Tuesday, unfortunately, we lost the connection a bunch of times. I lost it a couple of times, and we lost you guys, so, man, it wasn't the best. So let's go right ahead and join right into that presentation. All right, so I'm going to go and show you that. Okay, so now you can see my screen, and I'm down at the right corner. So this is the presentation that we were looking at in our class, in our Zoom class, okay? So here we are. It was called Recognizing and Using Words in Word Families, okay? And the way that this works is the first thing that we're doing is related words. So basically seeing how words belong to the same family, to the same group, or to the same type of word. I'm not going to get too deep into this, okay? Because I want you to understand something, some very small part, okay? So we've talked about these are the days of the week, and I asked you, how are these words related? And you said they are the days of the week, right? I know that they're in capital letter because they are the names of the days of the week, and that they all finish in day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Do you remember that we spelled out the hardest one to spell was Wednesday? So we saw how it was spelled and how it sounds, and it's not quite the same. So I told you there are some forms of words, and these forms tell us what type of word we have. And in class, we saw that we have nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Now, we have studied nouns, which are a person, a place, a thing, an idea. A verb is an action. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. And we learned something new, which was adverbs. And for that, what we did was a little example with these 3 sentences that I created for you. And in case you had forgotten, I wrote 3 sentences. Rafa runs fast, Fabrice learns a lot, and Sahyan draws beautifully. Now, I was telling you that Rafa, Fabrice, and Sahyan are a special kind of noun called proper nouns because they are names of people. So they're very specific, and they always have to be in capital letter. I always capitalize my name and my last name. I also capitalize the days of the week, the months of the year, because there are specific names for every month and specific names for every day. Okay? And we circled in red the action, in this case runs. Rafa runs, and Fabrice learns, and Sahyan draws. And I also told you that there was another word in this sentence. Rafa runs fast. How does Rafa run? So we learned that adverbs are words that describe the action. Okay, so they are words that describe the verb. Okay, so Fabrice learns a lot. Well, how much does he learn? Well, a lot. And that's when you have to ask the question, how much does he learn? A lot. And Sahyan draws beautifully. So how does Sahyan draw beautifully? It ends in double L-Y. It's not beautiful, it's beautifully. Okay, so all the words change depending on where I put them in the sentence, okay, and how I use them. Now that part you understand very well. So what I'm going to do is show you why we're studying this. So I'm going to go back to our presentation and go to the next page. Now the reason I'm telling you this is because we're going to use it in our spelling, okay? So we have two things. We have the word suffix and we have the word prefix. So all of these words use the suffix "tion," which means that they all end in that word. So a suffix is how a word ends. The word construction, the word emotion, the word station, the word action, the word animation, the word creation, the word decoration, the word suction. You might know what all of these words are. Maybe suction is not something that you know. I'll tell you later what it means. But they are all ending in the same spelling. T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N are the endings. So that's called a suffix. Okay? And we can change what a word means or what type of word it is if we make it end in T-I-O-N. Now, you can't do this magically to all the words. But for example, when I feel emotional, it's how I feel. I feel an emotion. It's something. It turns an emotion is something. A construction is something. A station is a place. An action is an action. Animation is something that I do. A creation is something that I create. A decoration is something that I put to decorate my place. Or in my place, I have these signs. I have these for decoration, and I use my markers for decoration. And suction is when you go to the dentist, sometimes you have a lot of saliva in your mouth. So the dentist has this little machine that sort of swallows all that. It goes, and it sort of sucks in your cheek sometimes when it's too close. Well, that happens. That's a suction machine, okay? Now, what happens is that I use suffixes, which are the way that words end, and prefixes are the way that words begin to create different types of words and word families, okay? Now, a prefix could be over, okay? And I can think, for example, overestimate is a word, okay? I'm changing the word estimate by adding over at the beginning. And I'm changing the meaning of it completely, okay? Now, that part, I don't want you to think about it too much. I just want you to know that a suffix is an ending of the word. And a prefix is how a word begins, okay? That is the part that I need you to focus on, okay? So, for example, we have some words. Another thing that I want to tell you is that we have two things that we need to take care of. And it's related to their meanings, okay? Words that share similar meanings are called synonyms, and words that have opposite meanings are called antonyms. So let's look at these synonyms. We have disagree, quarrel, squabble, battle, row, feud. Sorry. And the antonyms, the opposite of disagree is agree. The opposite of quarrel is concur. The opposite of squabble is comply. The opposite of battle is ignore. We have also overlook, harmonize. These are good things, and they are the opposite of these things. Okay? So can you think of some synonyms of the word good? So we have good, we have great, we have wonderful, we have magnificent, splendid, spectacular. They are all the same meaning or similar meaning. They mean good. Good, great, better, nice, fantastic, fantabulous, something that I say a lot. So, just so you know, you have these two things, and the reason why I'm teaching you these two things is related to the worksheet that I have prepared for you. Why? Well, because we're going to go into vocabulary and we're going to see something called common root words. words, okay? I'm going to make this nice and big so that you can see it all wide on my screen. Okay, so common root words is when you have prefixes and suffixes are added to the same base or root word and they change their meaning. So for example, these two words have the same root word. I have the root word is phone, and I can add a word or some letters at the beginning to change the meaning of the word. It's not the same to say phone than to say telephone. It's not the same to say phone than to say microphone. And definitely telephone and microphone are not the same object. That part you need to understand. So, we're going to do some practice, okay? We're going to find, in this first exercise, I'm going to go ahead and circle it here, do the first exercise. It says copy the words, and then it says underline the root word in each. So when I copy these words, I'm going to see what they have in common. So I have letter A, farmer, and I have in letter next to it, I have farming. So definitely, I have to find the root word is definitely farm. It's the part that they both have in common. Okay? Now, for example, in the next one, it says shopper and I have shopping. So definitely it's shop. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what each of these words mean in the end because it's really important. When you change the beginning or when you change the ending, when you have a different suffix or a different prefix, you change the meaning of the word. So it's really important for you. When you change a little bit the word, it has an entirely different meaning, okay? So let's first underline all of these, and then I'll tell you what they mean, okay? So, for example, in letter C it says undo, and it says doing. So definitely the only thing that they have in common is do, okay? Do and do, okay? Then we have return or turned. So definitely we have turn as the base word or the root word, okay? In letter E, we have kindness and we have unkind. So kind would be our root word. We added a prefix to say that it was bad, unkind, and we added a suffix, ness, to say that we're talking about kindness. Then we have excited and we have excitement. So it's definitely excite. Excite. The base word, the root word, okay? So, what I was telling you before about the meanings. A farmer is a person. So this is a noun. Okay? Farming is an action. Okay? So this is a verb. Okay? Undo and doing are not the same thing. Undo and doing are both verbs. What did you do? Well, I undid, for example. Doing. But when I say undo, it means that I erase what I did. Like when I do this line, imagine that it's by accident, and I can undo it, and it sort of goes away. Just like we do in our whiteboard when we draw something, and we don't like our drawing, or when I wrote the wrong answer, I can go and undo it. All right? Doing is something that I am doing right now. Okay? Kindness is a feeling. Okay? So it's a thing. Kindness, or you can demonstrate or you can show kindness by smiling. But when someone is unkind, it means that they are not kind, that they do not show kindness. Okay? When you are unkind, the prefix un, I'm going to circle it in orange because the prefix un is here and it's also here. And I told you that with undo, I remove what I'm doing. And with unkind, I remove the kindness. So in other words, the word un is when I remove something, or when it just doesn't apply. It's not the same to do than to undo. To remove what you did. It's not the same to be kind as to be unkind. That means that you're not kind, that you do not do. Okay? Alright. Let's go to the column on the right. Shopper is a person, just like the noun that I had shown you before in farmer. Shopper is a person, so that's a noun, and shopping is an action that you do. You go shopping. So it's a verb. Alright, let's wait for that B to show. There you go. Okay. Return and turned are not the same. When I return, I go back. And when she turned is to go in another direction. So when you return, you go back. So you do something again. When they say redo the exercise, you have to do it again. When you return, it means you have to turn again, turn back, basically. And turned changes this action, the action of turned, which is, turn is in the present. And yesterday I turned to my dad and I said, "Hi, Dad." Or yesterday my marker turned blue. It changed in the past. So I'm changing the end of that word, this ed, in this situation, tells me that this verb is in the past. It's talking about yesterday. Okay. Excited, it has an ed ending, but it does not mean about yesterday. It can, but it does not. Why? Because excite is an adjective. It tells me how I am. I can tell you I am excited, and I am talking about right now. I am excited. What am I showing you? Excitement. Oh my god, this is so complex, you guys. But this is something that you know. Now, let's identify that ed is a suffix, okay? And ment is another suffix, okay? So now we have a bunch of different beginnings and different endings. The beginnings are prefixes, the endings are suffixes, okay? Now, using some of the root words that you have found in exercise 1, which is over here, you have to write some sentences. So in the case of farm, there are some chickens on the farm. You have to make a sentence with shop, with do, with turn, with kind, and with excite, or excitement, or excited. Okay? You have to create them on your own. Use your imagination. That is why you have it. Use your creativity. You guys are so creative, and most of all, you are so smart. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to explain to you the second exercise that you have on the other page. It says, copy these root words, add 2 more words that use the same root words. For example, you take the word music, and you can change it to musical, and you can change it to musician. A musical is when you go and you see a show where people sing, and a musician would be this person. A person who plays music for a living. Like a guitar player, or a bass player, or a drummer, or a singer. That's a musician too. So, you have the word sign. I can help you with this. I'm going to go ahead and help you with this. I'm going to create blue and make it nice and big so you can see. So for example, with sign, not sing, sign, you can have signal, for example. A signal that you might see on the road, or you could also say signature, for example, is another word that you can create. Now there are many words. You can use a dictionary to help you. You can ask your parents also. Now book. I don't know, I can give you one of these. Bookshelf. Now, I'm going to make this big because all this is really one word. And I don't want you to think that it's two words. Okay, so bookshelf is one word. There you go. Now, I'm going to leave it to you to create one more word for book, two more for plant, two more for hide, two for quick, two for place, and two for color. Now, just so that you know, in British English, color is spelled C-O-L-O-U-R, but I can also accept if you write it like this, color, okay? It is up to you, it is your decision, it's fine. And in exercise number 2, you have to write 5 sentences using each one of the words you added. So you have to do 2 for book, the 2 that you created. You don't have to use this one if you don't like it. You can use other words if you like. But you have to do 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 times 7 is a total of 14 sentences that you have to do, okay? 14 sentences, okay? So there you have to get creative, and you can do this. You can definitely do this. I don't have a single doubt in my mind, okay? The last exercise that you have for today says, copy the root words below, join the prefixes and the suffixes in the box to the root words. Make a list of as many words as you can. So you take a word, let's find it. Let's take a root word. It's just love. I can transform the word love and create lovely by using the prefix ly. Okay? You see it there? Okay. So I combine these two to create the word lovely. Okay? I can also create the word with love. I can combine it. Ooh, let's use this arrow. I don't know if this works very well, but I can combine it with lovable. Okay? But I cannot create crazy words like super love. What's that? What's super love? But I can create unperfect. And I can say perfectly. Okay? So if you don't know these, we can discuss them tomorrow, how we change around these words to create other words. You can't crazily say misfair, because we don't say misfair. We say unfair. We talk that something is can be done fairly, not fairful. Nobody says fairful. Fairful is not a word. So you can't create words out of the craziness, okay? I hope you have understood this exercise. Now, if you haven't, you know where to find me, okay? You have questions, email me. If you don't know something, leave it for later. Ask me in Zoom. Email me. Tell your parents, Mom, please email Miss Maria Clara because I didn't understand this exercise at all. Or I did understand it, and here it is. Here it is when I did it. I took my piece of paper and I printed it, and here it is, Miss. You can have it. Okay? Alright, you guys. This will be the end of this first video. I'll be showing you a couple of more videos, but a little bit later. Okay? So, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.